Hello, future percussion students. Today I'm going to show you how to assemble the bell kit with the stand and also how the practice pad will be used. So today I'm not going to show you how to deal with the snare drum because this week this is the extent of what we're going to learn, okay? So in the bell kit, you're going to notice there are 3 parts to the stand. You're going to need to locate the ones that belong to the bells. The base, this part, is going to be the one that you're going to use for both the snare drum and for the bells. And then there are 2 pieces in here. There's going to be one that's going to seem a little bit smaller, and that will be the one that will put the bells on. The snare drum one has bigger arms that stick up. You'll kind of notice them, and that's important. One thing you'll notice on all of the stand pieces, they're little parts that screw and unscrew. And I mentioned this past week to make sure you don't unscrew them too hard or they will fall out. But we're going to grab the part that is the base of the stand first. You notice it'll have like little rubber bits on the bottom and then a hole at the top. So this top piece is where the top of the base of the stand is where the bell part goes on top. So what you're going to do, there's a screw here at this, make sure it's not too loose, okay? But you'll loosen it in a minute. But the piece right here that helps bring the legs out needs to be loosened just enough so it's loose. You don't want to unscrew it all the way, just a little bit so that it's loose. And then turn it upside down and grab by the feet and pull them out, okay? You kind of want to spread them out pretty wide. Okay, they're going to have to go lower than this part. And then you turn it around and you're going to tighten this part here, keeps the legs in place, and you just put it down on the floor, okay? Put it down on the floor. Now the next part is the stand part. So this piece is just going to go right in that hole. This little screw, you loosen it just enough so that you can place it in. If it doesn't fit, you just have to keep loosening it just enough so that it does. And then the height of this needs to sit at about your waist height. So like find like where your belt line might be of your clothes, and then tighten the screw here so that it doesn't move, okay? Then depending on the way the base part of this works, there's another screw probably somewhere that will tighten and loosen the arms, and here it is for this. Oh, here we go. I'm sorry, I'm talking and not showing you. So you're gonna pull these up like so. There's a little screw thingy here that will keep that loose. Now, you don't want to go up too high, you don't want to go down too low. Just up enough so that's like that. Once it's level, tighten it. Now you'll notice that there's an area that's narrow and wide. Now I'm going to place this so you can see it. Now I'm going to turn it so that the wide part is on my left-hand side, the skinnier part is on my right-hand side. And then the next step is going to be, you're going to grab the bells, and the bells, you notice on the stand, there's this little circle here. On the back side of the bells, there's a hole right here. That hole is going to go right there, and it just kind of rests right on top. You don't screw anything. It just takes a second to kind of figure out how it fits. I'm just looking at it. Sometimes there's just a little bit of wiggling, and you'll know that it's in the right place because it kind of sits. Now, if these little arm pieces were down too low, it's not going to support it. So I'm raising it up so that it does, and it should just go right in place. And that's kind of how you put the bells together. It's pretty simple. Now the next thing you're going to do is to play the bells. You've got your mallets. I've wrapped mine in some fabric just to make them not play loudly, but that's not necessary. You're going to be fine, but this is just for Zoom reasons. Now when you're standing and playing your instrument, you need to stand, about this far away from the instrument so you have enough room that your hands can be held. Now to hold the mallet, you're going to grab between your index finger and your thumb, wrap around, and if I could, I'd try and pull it out of your hands, but I can't. You grab them both like that. This is what they look like underneath. We'll go over that grip. And then you're going to find on the bells, there's this pattern of 3, patterns of 2. You're going to find in the middle, you're going to find the note on the bars that are all in a row without the pattern of 3 and 2. You're going to find the note that's just under to the left of the 3, and that's the note F. And now you find the note above that, which would be G and A. Those are the 3 notes on lesson 1 that you'll be learning. So those are those. Now, in our lessons, we also be using a practice pad. Now, for the purpose of these lessons, often I want to be able to go between snare drum and bells without doing anything. So all you'll have to do is just place the pad on top, and we're ready to go with practicing some snare drumming. Sometimes it clicks the instrument, but when you're practicing on your own at home and you're just doing snare drum, it works like this. There's a little spot here, hole in the bottom. I believe the pad will just it screws right on. In our lessons, I won't spend the time to do that because I want to be able to jump back and forth. And if you don't like the way it looks like that, you can even let those arms come down so you just have the snare drum practice pad, and so we're ready to go. If you notice the way I'm holding my sticks, they're in a V shape. I'm using my arm only. So one thing that I like to have students practice is like 8 taps on each hand like this. 1, 2. You'll notice when I play, both on the mallets and on the snare drum, is that I don't let the stick stay on the instrument. You have to let it bounce off. It's just a matter of you want to try to do that. So if you practice with just one hand, notice I'm moving just my wrist. Make sure you're not standing too close to the instrument, whether it's the bells or that. So welcome to band class, and I hope this video helps you, and I will see you in class.